This is Anarchast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. I've been stranded for the last 24 hours in Lima, Peru, but I happened to run into a great person, Raul de Aguilla, excuse my pronunciation. He's actually going to be setting up Dollar Vigilante in Latin America with us, and he's an anarchist, so I wanted to bring him on the program. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Bart?
Good.
Jeff.
So
we are very excited to your presence here in Lima, Peru, and very excited too for in the next weeks release the Dollar Vigilante in Español.
Perfecto.
We are very excited to start a new website.
Yeah, great. So on Anarchast, I always ask the very first question: how did you become an anarchist? Were you born that way, or did you?
Well, it's through the years, I discovered that something was wrong with any kind of government in my life. The interests of the government never were my interests, never protect my interests. And I start with reading, the Casey and all these kind of publications. And there, I become very interested in the philosophy of Ludwig von Mises.
Ludwig von Mises,
yeah,
yes.
With the Austrian economics.
Yes.
And I like this guy, I like the philosophy. Step by step, I transformed it in 100% anarchist.
So how long ago was that? Like 10
It's like
years ago?
in the last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
Yeah.
So you were born in Peru?
Yeah, I was born in Peru.
And then you went to the U.S.?
Yeah, then I worked to live in the United States.
And you saw a different side of the U.S. than you saw in the movies?
Yeah, very different to the movies. And then I returned to my country. In this moment, I think this part of Latin America is a really economic boom. And we are trying to enjoy this boom here in South America with freedom and, entrepreneur.
So talk a little bit about how you went to the U.S., because you were telling me earlier, and you said how it was not exactly what you thought it was going to be.
Well, we have the idea, a lot of people in Latin America and around the world, we had the idea that the United States was the country of the freedom and the American dream too, because in the TV series in the 60s we saw a lot of these movies, but when I went to live there, something I start to be clear to me that something was wrong, and I feel the police state, and this is the reason that I returned. Yeah. Like escape.
Yeah, I was just in Dallas, and I just booked the next flight out. I had to get out of there. I had to go through, I had to drive down the Lyndon B. Johnson freeway to the George W. Bush crime family freeway to get out of there, but I just had to get out of there. And I actually came here. It's a weekend right now we're talking about, and I had my credit card was maxed out, and I had just enough to get here, and I was like, just get me out of the U.S. Like, for people who don't or haven't been to the U.S. and who think it's the land of the free, that's
I know. It's propaganda. It's a propaganda. And now I would like to give a message in Spanish language. Is this okay with you?
Sure.
Muy pronto vamos, para todos los amigos de América Latina, vamos a inaugurar el nuevo website de El Dólar Vigilante, totalmente en idioma español. Al principio quizás no va a haber para suscripción, pero depende de la demanda, de las visitas, vamos a poder brindar suscripciones para ustedes con la filosofía de Jeff Berwick, que es en este momento es uno de los líderes, yo creo, en el pensamiento anarquista.
Perfecto.
Creo que has entendido español.
Obvio que sí, vamos a poner subtítulos por gente que no entiende español. Pero si tú no hablas español, aprenda, porque el futuro es en Latinoamérica o Asia, en mi
Asia,
opinion.
yeah. You told me something about Singapore, Thailandia. Yeah. How is the place?
It's good. It's much better than the U.S. It's much better than Canada. It's much better than Europe. I think those are the two places where there's some hope, esperanza.
No.
And definitely down here. And just in case you don't know, Raul is very well connected here in Peru. And he really believes there's a lot of opportunities here, especially in agriculture, and we'll be working with you on that. And he's also very interested in Gulch in Chile. We're all working together because we're on the same mindset. So yeah, I really think that Latin America and Asia are the two best places to be at the moment. There is other places. I'd rather be in Russia or China than the US right now.
Yeah. Or maybe Mongolia.
Mongolia is great.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I met some Mongolian guys.
I read a lot of Mongolia right now. The economy is very, very well.
Sure, yeah. It's only in the US that it's really depressing, and every day
it's so sad.
It is really sad. However, there is a bright spot, and there is other places to go. And so you're back here in Peru now.
Yeah. And well, you can visit not only Peru, you can visit Bolivia, Santa Cruz. We have TDB group there. There's a guy from Hawaii, Mark Meador is the
Have
name.
you met him in person?
No, he speaks very well Spanish, and in this moment he's in Hawaii, but he practically lives in Bolivia too. And we have the Paraguay, you know Paraguay.
We're very
we have Ecuador, the same Colombia, Panama, Nicaragua. They are very nice places to stay. Mexico, of course, Acapulco, right? And how about the Riviera Maya?
Oh, me encanta.
Yeah, it's muy bueno.
We're actually looking, and this is sort of some inside information, we might do a project in the Riviera Maya.
The Riviera Maya? Oh, wow.
Do you know Chetumal at all? It's very southeast. It's like almost on the border with Belize.
Yeah, it's not Tulum. It's near
very
to
close
Tulum.
to there, about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Tulum is beautiful. Yeah.
It's all beautiful.
Paradise.
Once you get out of the U.S., you lived in New York.
Yeah, I lived in New York.
What do you think about New York?
Well, it's a very nice place, but but the problem is, it's for people that like the extreme weather. It's so hot in the summer and too hot and too cold in winter. Well, you are from Canada. You know about winters.
Yeah, I'm done with all those winters.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not even the weather to me about New York or anywhere in the U.S. It's the constant someone telling you what to do, police on every corner.
Yeah, the problem is that sometimes, like a foreigner, I don't know if I am committing a crime. Every second or every minute, I don't know.
Well, there's a book that
maybe I
wrote.
can finish in jail. I don't know.
There's a book that someone wrote, and they said every day in the U.S. you break at least 3 crimes. I think now actually you should update that book, because that was about 10 years ago. I think now it's like 30, because everything's illegal now. Anything you want to do, you want to have a smoke outside, that's illegal. You want to
I know.
buy beer after 1 in the morning, that's illegal.
Well, I am drinking here the pisco, the Chilcano of pisco, and I don't have a cop behind me, checking to me.
Now,
I
the
can
world's
drink.
changing.
No problem.
It's funny because we're actually looking at a TV screen there that Edward Snowden was just on.
Yeah.
And he's running to Russia and China from the U.S. defecting as a political refugee.
Yeah, I know.
The world. This is actually the story of human history. If you think back on it, humans are always just running from government. Rome. At the end of the Roman Empire, people were just fleeing to the barbarian land.
I know. Every time, is the reason, sometimes history repeats, And we have to learn from history. We have to learn.
We finally have to just wake up and learn from history. And I think thanks to the internet, we have the best opportunity we've ever had to actually finally learn.
Yeah, for self-education.
Yes.
This is the most important thing.
Of course.
If you go to, for example, here, if you go to to an institute, everything is, like brainwashing.
Yeah.
The most important thing is a self-paced education. I love that.
Yeah, there's a word for it when you learn by yourself. It's called autodidact. I forget the exact word. I'm really bad with words. It was just funny because I'm sort of a writer and a speaker. But yeah, the only way to really learn is by yourself.
Yeah, of course.
And then find good people that's like Doug Casey. That's my mentor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The best mentor.
I know. I was really lucky on that one.
Yeah.
And but going to school, a lot of people in the U.S. they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for a Bachelor of Arts degree, which is useless. When you can learn all that information, actually good information, better information on the internet.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah. And I think in the TDB Latin America, I would put this kind of links online to people that want to learn by themselves.
Absolutely. We try to do the same in TDB US or in the Western world or in English.
We have a lot of websites that you can learn practically by free.
Everything's free.
Yeah, everything is free.
The internet has changed everything. The Khan Academy, have you heard of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's anything you want to know about math. It's all free.
Wow.
MIT, which I would never go to, but all their courses are online for free. Everything's free. Information is now free.
Yeah, information.
And this is changing the world dramatically. Like, we would have never met.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Yeah, impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah. But maybe, it's more compatible. I have more compatible ideas with you than with my neighbor.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now you are in our part.
Yeah, and Doug Casey talks a lot about that. It's something called files.
Files, yeah.
And we're trying to do that with TDD groups, as you know.
Yeah, it's a file.
Yeah, we're
group
just
of
trying
files.
to put together like-minded people because, Doug Casey says this. One of his quotes, and I always quote him, is, I have more in common with just a random person in the Congo in Africa than the person down the street in Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah, wow, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all changing, it's all great, it's all beautiful, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. There's going to be a collapse going to happen, however, and you would agree with that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we're gonna have to get through a little bit of some problems.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not in the U.S., or even if you are in the U.S., you can maybe still survive.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's worldwide. Well, I invite to people in the Western Hemisphere to come in here to South America to visit South America. Not only Peru, you have Chile, Argentina, you have Uruguay, beautiful countries. Colombia, Ecuador. No offense with any country. Brazil, and the same Venezuela too. It's beautiful. Of course, the government not, but the scenario is
like
beautiful.
Argentina,
yeah.
The government's terrible, but the people are
yeah,
great.
The people is nice, and I hope that visit us anytime.
That's really great. So
very happy that you are here.
You have an invitation from Raul in Lima, Peru. If you're a like-minded person, you believe in freedom, like he just came here. I'm sitting at an airport bar right now. Actually, I'm out of money. It's like a Canadian stupid holiday, Canada Day. Oh
wow.
God, it's my worst, least favorite day of the year. And I've been stuck here for about 24 hours, and Raul came down, and he's hanging out with me, and we're having some fun. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to change the world.
Exactly.
Cambiando.
Cambiar el mundo. Salud.
Salud. And that's it for Anarchast. Wake up, and peace, paz, love, amor.
Paz y amor.
Y libertad, freedom.
Freedom.